Greetings and welcome to the Talk to Me America show, where the world wants to know what you have to say. So call me and tell them like it is. You know, I've been saying that for almost 3 years now, and only a few people call me. You guys need to share my show more. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is another Thursday night, and it's time for another Talk to Me America show. Welcome to everyone. I am Lord DGddss, your hostess. Hope you all had a fantastic week. Don't be showing off the shoulders again. You will get Yvonne bothered. What does he think? They're boobs? That's funny. Hello, Ebtide. How are you doing? Oh, my ninja! Alright. Again, hope you guys had a great week. It's been a whirlwind week when it comes to the media and everything. Just so overwhelmed I almost didn't feel like doing today's show. Plus also too, it was such a beautiful day. Sunshine and nice and cool with a nice breeze and everything. I did spend some time outside while I felt guilty about not working on the show, but I managed to get it done. That's why I said, you tell me what this show is about. I got a few things to talk about, but it's a call and talk show. You guys are supposed to be doing the talking, not me. But I can if I ever have to. Alright, real quick, thank you for clicking on my little acre of the internet today. I'm going to do my plugs real fast. No Prisoners podcast with Kevin's Canada Coffee and Feisty Ace. I actually haven't been able to listen to their podcast this week because Monday... Let's see, what was I doing on Monday? I forgot. I might have been outside. I don't know. I don't remember. Oh, I think I got to sleep late on Monday, and then Wednesday I didn't have any power. They decided to do some maintenance. I wonder what they put in the lines to be able to watch us. You know, Big Brother. All right. And of course, Kevin's Canada Coffee and Feisty Ace. Is he back? I know he was taking a week off. Let's see. Sometimes friends like me on Fridays. I don't know if I'll be there tomorrow or not. I just don't know. I'm not planning things in advance. I'm your ninja. Good to see you too. They're almost exclusively now on Pilled.net. And of course, Pastor Chatelet with the pond and my main moderator. I see him there. Good morning. Good morning? Okay. And of course, if Pastor Chatelet is here, that means the pond is here as well. If you notice, I get excited. I can't talk. But if I do it slowly and succinctly, you can understand me. I'm almost back to normal when it comes to that. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah, Pastor Chatelet, my main moderator, and hello to the pond. That means if Chatelet's here, that means the pond is here as well. Just don't forget to come to one of the platforms that I'm streaming on so I can get your numbers and your loves and your fires and your up toots and your down toots or whatever. And of course you can throw in a tip or two if you want to, if you can. Excuse me. Red Dun Radio, or as I like to call him, Tyrone. I actually found one of his reposts today on X. I don't know if I'm going to be showing it to you. I might. We'll see. All I remember is that I did see it as I'm going through stuff today. The Drunken Rocky, which is his show, is on just after mine. Coffee Talk with Sandra on Pill.net. Raynoth, DJ Bass, all of my friends and smigs out there, of which I couldn't do anything. I couldn't do this without you. Wouldn't be as far along as I am without you, I'm pretty sure. Okay. Let's see. And of course, some guy from Maine, Rugru, Not Me Be, and Town with the schedule. That's me in the corner. At the community.pureblood.tv. Like I said, there's been some very good improvements. There we go. You don't have to scroll all the way down to see who's on when. And you can hit different days and different times and It's like, it's definitely totally interactive. Not only can you see what day and make plans or something like that, but you can also click on each of the people that are in here and see where they are, see what time they're on, and how to support them, which is important. So yeah, check out the community.pureblood. Talking too fast. Community.pureblood.tv for all your news and streaming necessities. There we go. All right, here we go. Don't move that. All right, let me go through the chats. Oh, no, wait. Real quick, I know everybody hates these, and I hate to do it too, but don't forget to support the channel with my merch shop. I don't make t-shirts and coffee cups. I make toys. I can make clothes. I can make just about anything. As a matter of fact, this week, I'm going to go back to the big screen, and show you. This week, I made molds. Silicone molds. I like to do a lot of things. Actually, it was, I got some silicone, and I'm trying to reproduce the Pepe Buddha that I showed you, that my son 3D printed for me. Can you guys even hear me? I've got my microphone all the way over here. I know I'm talking loud, though. Is that better? You have to excuse my stroke brain. What can I tell you? I've got a small excuse, but does the TV Guide have a gossip column? No, but I bet they would like you to contribute. That would be a cool thing to contribute. It does have a news thing. Let's see, news. It's got an RSS feed of all the best and most reliable news sources, I guess. Just the news, and then of course a couple of our locals that are writing articles and things like that too. You might be able to consider that a column, a gossip column. They've even got a ticker tape on the top here. I haven't been to this in a while. Watch. Representative Eli Crane warns President Trump against returning to Butler, PA, assassination attempt site for scheduled October 5th rally. Why? Why is he warning him? Does he know something that we should know? Okay. Let's see. All right. Well, like I said, you saw my new creation for the week. I'm actually working on the other things too. I'm just doing everything at once. And we're still having septic problems, so when it rains, it pours. Okay. And then, let's see what is. Okay, Ko-Fi, Cash App, Audi and Rumble have the super chats, of course. And of course, all that fun, good stuff on pill.net. They know how to party over there with their pills and their cookies and their cans and their spaceships. All right. Basically, all my links are below. Click on some of them, will ya? And then, of course, I've given you all kinds of ways to pay now. Lots of choices. Probably not all of them, and I'm sure that I've missed somebody, but what do you want me to do? I'm already having enough trouble keeping up with it all now. My husband's like, where did this come from? Where did that come from? Yeah, okay. He's my accountant. He's better at math than I am. All right. Don't forget also, too, I have a P.O. box. I love gifts. It doesn't have to be money. Wink, wink. I love glasses. No stronger than 1.75s, and preferably blue blockers. I do a lot of work on the computer, and they do help. If I don't wear blue blockers and I have a day like I have today, by the time I go to bed, all I can see is gray. It literally blinds me. I don't know what it is, but if I wear the blue blockers, no problem. All right. And of course, like I said, the best thing you can do is share. X me out, Gab me out, Facebook me out, whatever social media you're on. You might even be able to take and put, if you're listening to me on your phone or your iPad, go through your contacts and say, pick one out and say, I bet this person would love Laura. Or be inspired by her. Or hate her, I don't know. I like a good argument every once in a while, as long as I win. Just kidding. Alright. Like I said, share. Keep this freedom of speech trend going with me, because from what I can see, we are winning. And yes, we are winning. The way you can tell is that they're pushing even harder and harder. Trump is Hitler. Trump is Hitler. Two things. The only answer I have to say to any of these people that have been literally repeating this now for almost 10 years. If that was the case, when he was the president, you would not be here now to repeat it again. So no, he's not a dictator, and no, he's not a fascist. Alright? He's a dude. What can I tell you? He's a dude. Alright, let's see. Lazy Long Toes, my famous friend, how are you doing today? Let's see. I'm going to show you also too. Like I say, we got to keep the freedom of speech thing going. We cannot get complacent now, because I see two things when I do my artwork on all the different stuff, when I listen to the videos and YouTubes and all these people talking and everything. Two things I'm hearing. Trump was winning, and Trump is a bad person. But, oh, there goes my stroke brain again. I shouldn't go off script, but what can I tell you? I think of things anyway. I'm usually better at improv than anything else. Oh, but they're also trying to make us complacent. Like I say, they're playing both ends against the middle to us, or to the undecideds, which I can't imagine there'd be any undecideds now, but here we are. What can I tell you? But again, I'm hearing two things, and they're contradicting each other, but also too, they're working against each other. They're trying to make us complacent on the one hand, and trying to make us scared on the other hand. And I don't think it's working anymore. I really don't. I hope it's not anyway. I see a lot of proof that it's not. But there are some, put it this way, no matter what happens, at least 30% of the population is going to vote blue no matter who. That's just who they are. Alright, I'm going to show you tonight. And of course, it's never, even if we win, it's never the time to shut up. First Amendment, don't give it up voluntarily. Okay, and of course, besides that, if Christ is with us, we have already won. And you know that. We know that. That's a pretty good one. I've got a meme for you too for that one too, but I don't want to talk too much about it because I'm not surprised, and to me it's not news. I've been listening to those guys since the early 90s and never impressed me much for anything other than just being shoved in our faces for some reason. Okay. Going through the chat, I'm over here on Odysee. I'm on Odysee, YouTube, pilled.net, which I highly recommend. Mainly because it's the absolute, truly free speech platform. And, of course, Ramble. They claim to be, but some people are complaining about them. And it seems like they need their... Now, I haven't been having trouble, but I know some people who have been having trouble getting paid from Ramble. I'm not sure why. And again, I haven't been having... Maybe you make a whole bunch and they have to confirm something, or I don't know. Maybe I haven't had any complaints. I don't know. I have no idea. That's something I probably won't be able to find out. And the people that aren't getting paid don't really find out either, so why would they tell me? Okay. Let me put myself back in the corner. Okay, I'm going to go through the chats right now. Like I say, I'm on Odysee. Let's see who's here today. Mr. Tizo. And if you have Mr. Tizo following you, you're a very blessed person. He's a great memer. He shares all the time. I like being memed. He's about one of the only people that meme me, and I am very memeable. Especially now. Okay, Russian bot. Pepe Bomb. I see your Pepe Bomb. Yeah. Judas, welcome. Salty Mad Jameson. See, I gotta remember to stay slow. A little slower. Ebtide. Blue Eye Devil or Sigh. Ebtide. Oh yeah, right, okay. Let's see, who else was it? Professor Shad Life Course. So him. I'm your ninja. Okay. I think that's everybody over there so far. I don't want to miss anybody, of course. Yeah. Salty Al Bundy, welcome. Welcome to the show. Ken Killer, hey, good to see you. Ree! Did I do my great? I think I did. Okay, I'm gonna move over here to YouTube. I see 2 people over there, but nobody is talking. That's alright. We love our lurkers. And of course, maybe you're saving yourself to call in when I open the phone lines in a little bit. And then we run over here to Rumble. Rumble. There we go. I have to roll my R's to be able to say it right. That's crazy. Limited access. Welcome to the show. You're now a monthly supporter. What happened? I thought you were alrighty, but thank you. Thank you very much. I just get a cookie. Cookie! I don't have any responses for memberships. I don't get a lot of them. Okay, let's see. Limited access. When it rains, it pours. Just thank God that hurricane's not coming your way. Yeah, we had ours already, but we've had our power out twice because of it, so. Salty Old Ford, welcome to the show. Hello. Miss Laura, good to see you. Good to see you, too. Okay, there's a bunch of people on Rumble, but there's only 2 talking at the moment. Like I said, we love our lurkers. That's okay. You can listen. I like to listen. Put it this way: the only way I could do this show is listening to whatever is going on while I'm working on other things. Okay, now we go over to Pilled. Let's see what we got over here on Pilled. Mr. Tizo Cyborg. We've got about 6 inches of rain in the last 3 days, and we'll get another 6 or so in the next 2 days here. Crazy amount of rain, but we need it. Well, I just hope that you don't have a mudslide or landslide or anything like that. Yeah, I like the rain too. Not all the time, but the weather over there is making it nice and fall-like over here, so we had a good day. It was a beautiful day today. I didn't want to go inside. Oh, okay. Cyborg says, I run 2 good news sites too. http barspit.com and misinfo.info. You might want to contact one of these gentlemen if you want them to have an RS. If you want those 2 to have an RSS feed, that would be cool. Alright. Cyborg, are you near the hurricane? Because the first thing I want to do today is forward my thoughts and my prayers to the neighbors in Florida and Georgia. Been through a couple of hurricanes. They're not fun, and they can be very devastating. Don't forget, it's been 20, what? It's actually been 20 years since Katrina. And you know what Katrina did. It flooded New Orleans for 38 days. You couldn't get in there or out of there. 9 feet of water. I remember going downtown right after they opened it up, and you could still see the water lines everywhere. Oh my god, a hurricane. Oh, that cookie looks very good. Is there something in it? Is it a joke or just good cookie? Okay. Helene, I think the hurricane's name is. Y'all stay safe out there. And if someone needs help, either shout out that you need help. And if you can help, help. That's really what America and humanity should be about always. No matter who it is. Alright. In fact, I heard a saying today, and this is pretty much true of me, even though I've never uttered it before, but you can't compete with me because I want everybody to win. There's no reason everybody shouldn't win. And everybody has different talents, so I think everybody can win. So, eye on Christ, that's how you win, ultimately, of course. Alright, but yeah, be there for people, even if it just means that you're there to be a shoulder to cry on. People need that sometimes more than anything else. Alright, and then the breaking news. This is one of the reasons I think, and what tells me that Trump is winning and going to win, if they allow him to live. Breaking news, both the UK, this is just something I was reading as I was getting this stuff already, but they always end up doing something on Thursday, so I like doing my broadcasts on Thursdays. But both the UK Prime Minister and the Ukrainian President, you know, Zelensky, the dancing fool, both asked supposedly for a meeting with Trump at the Tower tomorrow. This is another thing you can take one of two ways, I guess. These guys knows what are going on. Zelensky might want to think about apologizing if he wants any more help from the United States, because I think I read somewhere or I heard somewhere that Zelensky insulted Trump when he came to Congress yesterday or something like that. So I don't know. Mikey Baseball, welcome to the show. We got Cyborg. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to quit going through. I get distracted. I got distracted easy today. That's part of the brain junk, I guess. And again, this stuff is getting monotonous now. You know, I find myself wanting to speed up time, even though that's not something we should wish for. Time goes fast enough as it is, but I want to speed up to the election, because I mean, what else can be said about what's going on? Who knows what and what we know and everything else like that. Of course, another indication that we're winning is the fact that everybody keeps saying that Kamala is begging for another debate. And of course, Trump's analogy of the fighter sounds perfect. This sounds correct. And she's like, well, I won't do yours, but you better do mine or you're chicken. Well, people aren't buying that shit either. So, no. Tom, my friend from down under, how are you doing? Hey man, that's a great idea. What a great way to recycle something that nobody uses anymore. Does it work? Is that yours? He's got he posted a picture of a file cabinet. You know, one of those big tall file cabinets with 4 or 5 drawers in it. The metal ones. People don't use those anymore. Everything's on the computer. But he's got it like a barbecue. He's got chicken. He's got the fire is down on the bottom drawer, and then the other 2 drawers has got chicken and potatoes, and God knows what else. That looks good. Probably something you're gonna have to do if things keep going the way they are going. And I'm gonna show you why everybody should probably be preparing for the worst at the moment as well too. Again, another thing that I think is that they're doing on purpose. But I can't get to. I can't do like Peter Griffin and say it all at once. Ah! Oh, I thought that was hilarious. When they did, when Peter did that, what is that, the alphabet or something like that? So yeah, the only thing I'm thinking about this thing is are we looking at people who know things? Like what I just said, that he's winning and they know what that they better get their better play tag ahead of the game, maybe per se, whatever you want to call it. And or are we looking at a setup, another setup? Because another thing that I keep hearing, and of course I like Benny Johnson, but it does tend to be a little clickbaity every now and again. So, and I don't know who to believe. I don't believe anybody anymore anyway. I take a lot of this stuff with a grain of salt. But according to him and one of their sources, I don't remember where I heard it, there are allegedly 5 assassination teams on the loose in the United States, supposedly right now. Iranian, some of them, I don't know. And if you believe the polls, Trump is ahead everywhere. All 7 of the swing states. So, I don't know if I believe them either. Ever since 2016, it's really hard to know what to believe. That's why there's only one way to go. We know that. Even CNN is saying this stuff too, and that's another thing that tells me, no, I don't believe them. They cried wolf so many times and lied so many times that now, even if they're telling the truth, I don't believe them. If not the truth, not the whole truth. They're manipulators and propagandists. And of course, they've already shown us, I say this almost every week, they've already shown us they're willing to say anything or do anything to retain power. So, what can I tell you? Alright. In my opinion, nothing of what is coming from Washington or the media, and most of you know this too, is any more than a badly written and an even more poorly acted out soap opera. That's what it is to me. Who's zooming who can stab who in the back, who's messing with who, if you get my drift, etc., etc. Alright, so yeah, really, really bad soap opera, but it's also like a really bad accident. Horrible, but you can't turn away for some reason. Maybe it's just because you want to hear what they're going to lie about next. And say, Alright, I'm going to open the phone lines right now. Hey guys, tell me, do I sound better today than I did last week? I'm trying to measure if I'm actually getting any better or if I'm gonna stay this way forever. I don't know. Slow and sure. Yeah, I hope, but we never can tell. Cream Fresh Cafeteria. Oh, is that who the file cabinet barbecue belongs to? I think that's a great idea. I wish I hadn't gotten rid of my file cabinets now, because I live in the woods. I can do that. Oh, South Park. Okay. Okay. Did I open that? Yeah, I did. Okay, let me make sure the settings are okay. Windows likes to change my settings on this all the time. I don't know why. And I haven't had any updates lately. Okay, looks like it works pretty good. So, yeah, the phone lines are open. Call me. If you want to, you can actually set the show in motion any way you want to, if you want to. But anyway, I'll start out with this question of the day. And from what I just said, is anything that the media, and I mean both sides, really resonating with you? Besides clickbait and meme fodder? Because so far, that's another thing. That's all I've seen. That's all I've seen about all this stuff. They're arguing about the damnedest things. Like, how do you pronounce Kamala's name? We'll get into that in a minute, because that started something that can almost be considered a Me Too event. And the way that it was handled afterwards almost cinched it. But I'll tell you about it. Alright. It seems, like I say, everything's been happening this week is another headline on The View. P. Diddy and all his baby oil, Biden nearly being sucked off, and then him letting them know that Kamala was in on everything this administration did. She wouldn't have had to. She actually would have had to, though, wouldn't she? Right? Because I mean, he really never was capable. Not even when he was installed, because Trump bad or something. The thing. Put it this way: after he did that particular comment, I knew then and there that we were getting an addle-brained bigot in office, because I already knew how he was about the busing and all that stuff. I mean, he's been in office since I was 11 years old. Oh, he has it. He has it, Lizzie, but people still need to understand me. Alright. Then in the spirit of freedom, freedom of speech, weirdly enough, there's this racial fight, and this is what I was talking about earlier. I'm going to go into this. This is because, again, it's another freedom of speech thing to me. It started out that way. And, well, you'll see when I explain it. But there's this racial fight between some college egghead, Michael Eric Dyson. I've never heard of the man before all of this. I think he's a man that not only was on no one's radar until he went after Nancy Mace. Now, actually, he has been on MSNBC. I've seen him a few pictures doing. I went to his Instagram, and he went on Joy Reid and all that, and I thought, and I've heard some people call him a race baiter. But he went after Nancy Mace on CNN, no surprise here, for saying she will pronounce Kamala's name any way she wants to. Sorry, man, I pronounce it any way I want to, too. I can't help it. But I mean, she was, that's her right. You know what I'm saying? Freedom of speech, First Amendment. That's how it started right there. She said, because every time she said it, they would try to correct her back and forth, and nobody else has ever pronounced her name the same, not even her. Alright, so this guy, Russian bot, yes, I'm not going to repeat that, but yes, we do. Some of us do anyway. She acts like one, and she realizes it too. So anyway, this egghead man, I think, thinks he's smarter and better than everyone else because of his piece of paper, that tells everyone that he has a doctorate. In what? I never hear that mentioned. To hear him talk, especially the last couple of days. To hear him talk, you think he has a sheepskin in 1619 studies. Oh, I never showed you the fun with crochet and stuff. Oh well. On with the show. Here's a short clip of what happened.
Kamala's
you had it right. You almost got it.
I will say Kamala's name any way that I want to.
When you disrespect Kamala Harris by saying you will call her whatever you want, I know you don't intend it to be that way. That's the history and legacy of white disregard for the humanity of black people.
So now you're calling me racist.
I just said you were racist.
That is complete.
You don't have to.
All right, so basically, in so many words, I didn't call you any names, but in so many words, he did. He did. You're copying your ancestors, essentially, is what he's saying. All right, so then something funny comes up that makes him look like a complete contradiction of himself and a chauvinistic pig, if you will. Text, emojis, and all. And of course, she didn't let this go, which is, like I say, this is the part where I think she's kind of me-tooing him. But that was Congresswoman Nancy Mace, M-A-C-E, I believe, and she did this.
I would like to also enter into the record a screenshot of a text message I received from the esteemed professor from Vanderbilt, Michael Eric Dyson, after my CNN interview, begged me for photos. In this text, he says, after calling me racist on CNN, don't tell anybody, we look good together, and sent me a kissy emoji.
Without
then
objection.
the guy says I'm gorgeous in all these photos. I don't think he's that bent out of shape on how anyone pronounces Kamala. And if we're going to have that standard, you got to hold it to both sides, not just one or the other.
Right. Okay. So again, this basically, in my opinion, now I'm gonna go all through this because there was so many. Well, first of all, let's see. After he gets busted and exposed, he goes on a rant, a 2-minute rant.
My point is that this is a woman trying to exploit a situation, trying to pretend as if I was trying to hit on her. She literally has that text exchange that I read the whole of it to you. I ain't trying to holler at her. I ain't trying to be with her. I have not dated white women. Not that that's a problem. All three of my wives have been 7 to 11 years older.
Wait, what? How many times have you been married? 3? Gee, I wonder why.
Again, where in that text exchange am I hitting a no? What you're trying to do is generate nastiness and viciousness because you're so bitter.
Sounds like it worked. He's being pretty nasty and vicious now. Sounds like what he's saying worked.
Because you got your butt whipped that night. Because
no,
I told you then
she didn't get
that
her
what
butt
you were
whipped.
doing is wrong. And let me correct one thing I did say. That night I said, you're a wonderful woman.
I never heard that come out of his mouth, not once. He's like, oh, I'm sure you didn't mean it like this. Like a very backhanded compliment. Oh, I'm sure you didn't mean it like this, but this is what you said, you bitch. Basically. Like I say, they like to talk in circles and then say, I never said that. Bullshit. And then he's going to tell us something that he did say that he didn't say.
And then I said, I know you don't intend to do this. And she said, oh, are you calling me a racist? And of course I said, no.
No, she didn't ask you. She told you.
No, I wasn't. Let me correct myself. You are a racist. You are a racially charged, small-minded, bigoted person.
Sounds like it takes one to know one.
Who is trying to exploit a situation to try to make me believe, to try
to make you believe. See that slip up? See that slip up? She's using this against me. She's using something against me that I tried to use against her. Oh my God. She's a racist. She's a bigot. You can't talk to black people this way. What law states that? Go on.
People believe that I was hitting on you when I've just now read the entire exchange, which is false. I've read.
Oh, she sent those texts to herself, did she? And did you see the actual picture of it was? He had her. If I had seen that picture and not known anything about it, I would have thought they were a couple. Because a friendly picture or something like that, you don't hold that woman around the waist and you don't grab them up. He was breasting her. His belly fit in between her boobs and her hips. There was no space in between them. You couldn't see the light between them, and you could see his hand around the small of her waist. That is a boyfriend-girlfriend stance. Usually, anyway. Go ahead.
Other exchanges with people where I've called them gorgeous and wasn't trying to hit on them.
Oh, okay. You've done this before. He's admitting he's done this before. But I wasn't hitting on anybody. Maybe not. How many men has he done that to?
And so your attempt is sad and sorry, but your biggest racist attempt will not.
Her attempt is sad and sorry. Yet, he just 2.5 minutes screaming about how that wasn't how it was. Oh my God! He almost. I tell you what. I wonder if between him and Cenk Uygur, who would win in an argument? That's exactly who he sounds like right now. The only difference is I don't think Cenk is ever being married.
Not succeed. Ain't nobody trying to holler at you. And if you're that desperate that you need a black man
she's
to
desperate.
holler at you, I'm not the one to do it. There are plenty on your side who can do that, ma'am, but you got the wrong brother in me. Again, vicious,
third time,
misleading,
again,
lying, distorting, and trying to pretend as if somebody's trying to holler at you when that's the furthest thing from
trying
my
to
mind.
pretend.
My mistake was being gracious to you. I'm trying to say, oh my God, we are opposites, but we can still be gracious to one another. I can still compliment you. I can still say nice things to you. There was no attempt to do anything but to be gracious to you. But you have proved to be what I said you weren't. A vicious, white supremacist racist who is incapable of accepting the generosity and kindness of a black man. You are a sorry, sick soul.
As my great-grandmother would say, it takes one to know one. Speak freely. Welcome to the show. Glad to catch you on here, too. Good to see you. So far, so good. Thank you very much. Cyborg says, oh, no, I said something not very nice. Pound sand. ABI. All right. So, anyway, I'm going to read some of the responses. This is post with Riding with Kamala. I don't know who this is. She tries to say, Michael Eric Dyson comes out swinging after Nancy Mace accused him of trying to flirt with her. Your attempt is sad and sorry, but your bigoted and racist attempt will not succeed, Dyson remarked. I didn't hear her do anything racist. I sure heard enough racism coming out of his mouth, though. Let's see. None your biz says, just come on out now. You got caught, Michael. And she with laugh emojis. With tear laugh and cry laugh emojis. Sean Keenan says, if it was Trump, y'all would be blasting it everywhere, but it's one of your own people. You are quiet. He got caught out. End of it. Here another one. Is he calling his male colleagues opponents, handsome or beautiful via text as well? I'm certain we know the answer. The hypocrisy of this takey is deafening. Wake up. They're all snow bunny chasers. Is that what us white women are? Snow bunnies? I'll take it. I'll take it. Snow bunnies in the 80s used to be people that go skiing in the wintertime. They take winter break off and go to the mountains. Those were snow bunnies. Let's see. Tina Session says, anyone who believes him are as crazy as he is. The race hustlers need to stop. Well, it's another one of those things where they do the thing and point the finger. It's their mantra. We're used to it by now. This is bullshit. Alright, this is him being caught with his pants down, so to speak. But he never got to take them off. Ask my husband, what would you think if another man sent me a text like this? His thought was that the man was trying to get into my pants. And actually, I asked my husband about this too. And, let's see, I wrote it down here. I ask my husband about this too. I said, if somebody showed you a picture, or if you saw that I got this text from some guy and you saw what he wrote and everything like that, he goes, he didn't even see the emojis or the texts. He looked at the picture and he said, why would that man be holding you like that? So even the guys are like, nah, dude, nah, bruh, nah. And then they say once he saw the emojis, he said, you guys would have some explaining to do. Why would this man feel appropriate sending you something like that? Now, I guess Micah Dyson is supposedly married. Is Mace, is she married? Did you think that he could get away with this because she was not married or something? Who white supremes, yes, resistance, that's what I'm talking about. Some of it, anyway. Like I say, to me it started with the freedom of speech thing, like I said before. So he says, oh, I was just trying to be nice, but she shunned me and made me look like the hypocrite that I am. So now, even though I didn't call her a racist on national TV, I have the ability to do it now. I have the right to do it now. So then he goes on to complain to the spew. Sorry in advance. I'll try to keep them down to a minimum, but you got to hear this because this is one of the things. The thing that came to mind when I heard this is the verse about false prophets. I think that fits into the scenario quite well, as he claims to be a pastor.
Because we live in the crazy year of 2024, she then later accused you of sending her flirty text, which she entered into the congressional record. Can you clear this up for us, Professor?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, it's great to be here with you wonderful women.
Yes.
The thing is that, let's look at a little background. I'm a preacher, so I know sin, my own and others, right?
What the hell does that have to do with this? First. Second, why would you bring that up? I'm a pastor. Look at how wonderful I am. Excuse me. Allergy season. People in the clerisy or cleric whatever. Bible people, believers, you should be enamored of me. I'm a pastor, and I know everybody's sin. Really? He's about as good as old Sharp Tongue, I think. Especially after this fiasco. As he claims to know everyone's sin, including his own. Yeah, I think that little text, that little text that you sent to Mace, says a little different. And from what I could see, so does everyone else. I read you just the first 6 or 7 comments, and they're all like, nah, bruh. No, we're not buying that shit. You know, what dude said? First of all, I don't know any man that would send me an emoji other than a thumbs up. My dad does, and my brother does. That's it. My husband never sends me an emoji. My sons never send me emojis. Except for maybe laugh or something like that on Facebook. But, no. Alright, so is this type of behavior in this case? Since you're such a smart man, he's got doctorates in something. So, was this, you believe this type of behavior and deceit that's going on with you now is acceptable behavior to Jesus? Is that what you preach? Do you preach this? Wanna fight about it? Welcome to the show. Hey, Salty My Jameson. We need a human inquisition that closely studies the genetic lineage of every person that does this to make sure they aren't contaminating the gene pool. Actually, if you follow Candace Owens, she did this for Kamala Harris. The genealogy is amazing. And it also shows a few things that don't add up about Kamala Harris. So, yeah. 72-year-old preacher of a huge church in Texas just got caught plowing into and something parishioner. I'm not surprised. I am not surprised. Not a pastor or a preacher. Okay, so anyway, like I say, this man is the doctor, and of course, now that evangelicals, that was the word I was looking for. Now that he thinks he has the evangelical ear, from what I can see, this man just looks down on everybody because of his education. Which is wrong, and he would know that if he was actually a pastor. I don't know what he preaches, but I sure the hell don't want to hear it. Okay, so just giving this woman some shallow compliment after insulting her and trying to force her speech to your will, and then trying to smear her for her freedom of speech is supposed to make everything okay? Oh yeah, I told you you look beautiful, and I told you that, you're a fine woman and all of this, but I'm gonna insult you in the meantime. So you think that this supposed compliment and trying to show her grace makes everything okay and makes her want to kneel down to you or for you, as the case may be. And her exposing your little sweet nothings makes her the desperate one? She's the desperate one! How many times have you been married? Like I said, 3? And again, I wonder why. I don't know if I'd be able to handle this man for 5 minutes, much less be married to him. And then this kicker, your lame-ass explanation claiming of, oh, I was showing her grace and we could come together even though we are opposed to one another. So, you're so fucking smart, Professor. Why didn't you just text her that sentiment to begin with? What's with the smiley kissy face and, oh, we look so good together? That doesn't show anybody, especially in this situation, any unity. You were trying to see what you could get. See how far you could get. Either that or you wanted to get close enough to her so that you could actually hear or hear something she says later on and really be able to call her racist. But you found the excuse anyway. Alright, so you wanted her to guess what you meant, which was really dumb. Really dumb to think that anyone would think anything other than that was a hard hit. Trying to get up that skirt, baby. You know, my old man, like I said, my old man's first response was, what would you think if someone sent me a text like this and photos and text and he was not having it? He'd be like, you both would have some explaining to do at that point, especially him. I'd want to know, like I said, the first thing he wanted to know was why was he holding her like that? Because I explained to him what happened just before those pictures. He's like, what? So, yeah. So, this smarter than everyone pastor and scholar, which nowadays means expert at trying to rule, curate, and control those that don't have a degree, or look down on them, or try to pin something on them. He spits in someone's face in front of the whole world. Actually, more like 100,000 people. That's all that watches CNN anymore. Alright. Shoots some poorly thought out texts and then trying to make it all better and then wait for her to misinterpret them so you can rightfully then call her racist. Sir, methinks thou protest too much. And that is how I would answer you after you tried to go viral, using my freedom of speech against me to call me a name that in this day and age could get me eliminated. Okay? And you know it. They don't want to admit all of this stuff, but the bullets and the insults and the assaults are only flying one way. And we know that. That's another thing I keep seeing. Yet they keep saying, oh, you're at fault for it. Victim blame much? So also, too, Mr. whatever your name is, I don't even want to remember what your name is, because I didn't know who he was in the first place until this. They literally made a big stink about this. But, again, this is just another way that we're being shown that side has no respect. They talk a big game about this, oh, women this and equal rights that and everything, but then they do something like this. Or they try and race bait you, or try to make you look bad. Sorry, dude. You know what you can do with your grace? You can shove it right the fuck up your ass. Sorry, but people like him make me angry. You know, I have a college degree too. Alright? I try to stick with what I know with my college degree. But most of these assholes with the doctorates and they going on the TV and everything, always trying to tell us bullshit. It makes me want. Almost makes me. If I hadn't gone for IT, if I had gone for any of the stuff that these people were majored in and everything like that, I'd want my money back. All right, but yeah, you sir can shove your grace. All right, because I have God's grace, and you're not even a pimple on a pizza face compared to God's grace. Now, I forgive you because that's what God commands of me, but you will still be held accountable for your deceit. And I sure as hell am never going to listen to you or believe anything you ever say again. And I ain't going to forget it either. Okay. Don't forget, the phone lines are open. If you're enjoying the show, give me a like. Sometimes my stream deck doesn't want to work. There we go. The phone lines are open. The number is scrolling below me, or the email if you want to do Skype. All right, so that's enough of this asshole. In the same vein here, as if we didn't need another reason to boycott Coke. If you remember their Try to Be Less White campaign. Here's something that you may want to avoid altogether. This is evidently you can personalize Coca-Cola cans now in a vending machine. In a vending machine. Check it out.
At the Coke store, you can personalize a message. You can put Allah loves you. Or you could even put, let me see, let's just try it out. Buddha loves you. But you cannot even type in the word Jesus. We cannot allow this text on the can.
I wonder why that is.
Everything else is good though. Even if I put, let's see, Satan.
Oh, no, bro.
Hold on. Satan loves you. You can put that. You can put Satan loves you, Allah loves you, Buddha loves you. But when you type in this word, you can't even type the word in. That's crazy. That's ridiculous.
Do not support the company anymore. Don't. That's another another way that they're trying to get rid of your speech, and they're trying to make you forget that Jesus is the way. So, like I said, if you didn't need another reason to boycott Coke, other than the fact that Coke is terrible for you and it's extremely expensive now, and they've gone woke, I wouldn't spend my money on them anymore. So yeah, now they're trying to tell you you can't tell people about Jesus. Another one, go yourself. Go can yourself. How about that? Are you guys finding over here? Limited, let's see. Sarcasm, I love. We cannot afford too much sarcasm during a time when the comprehension is at an all-time low around the world. Psh. Sorry, I'm gonna be sarcastic. If you don't get it, that's that's too bad. Look, man, I'm an Xer. Way too old to change now, and if you can't handle it, sorry, stay away from me. That's the whole point of the First Amendment. People seem to forget it is a freedom of association, too. Those things kind of mesh. If you don't know how somebody feels about things, or don't know what they're going to say about something, or you don't know, if they say something and you disagree, that's okay. Oh, hey, thank you. Alright, but you can also stay away from people if you think they're going to be bad for your spirit, if they're going to try and take you or separate you away from God, things like that. You have the right to know. You also have the right to listen to whoever you want to listen to. But it's a matter of association, and you're not going to know who you want to associate with unless people open their mouths. They're allowed to speak. They speak loud enough or long enough, they'll tell you exactly who they are. You know that. Alright, that brings me to another A1 abomination, or 1A abomination. If they are, what they're doing to Alex Jones right now, actually, what they have been doing to him for a long time, since right before Trump went in for office or something like that, I think. Now, I don't know everything about Sandy Hook. I actually have trouble following it because I knew nothing about it until AJ started getting censored because of it, supposedly. He talked a little bit about it, but most of the time I would hear him talking, he would be saying things like, I've already apologized, and he didn't really explain what was going on. But still, I'm not even clear about if that was one of the reasons they were censoring him. I know that most of the time they don't punish you for lying, as we can see. That's another thing we've been seeing a lot of. But they are treating him as if he's the one that committed the crime that took those precious children from us. It was a school shooting, obviously. $1 billion settlement? $1 billion? Really? $1 billion? Isn't there something in the Constitution against exorbitant amounts of money for being punished or being taken to court or something like that? Let me think. Oh yeah! The 8th Amendment, which says, excessive bail shall not be required, nor excessive fines imposed, nor cruel and unusual punishment inflicted. Now, you know that them taking that much money from him, because now I see that they're trying to, or they're making him liquidate everything so that he can pay these families off, which is not even going to be a tenth of what he supposedly owes them. They're trying, but also too, they know that will shut him down. It probably will affect his immediate family as well, his wife, his kids. I don't know. They supposedly can't take his houses and stuff away from him. But again, the 8th Amendment, they're not following it. Alright, so that does not sound like it is in line with the 8th Amendment, and definitely not in line with the first. Even if he was wrong. And like I said, he admitted that he was wrong, as far as I know, several times. I didn't watch. Did they do more than just clips of the court case where he was even a smartass in there too? The phosphoric acid in Coke is a pretty decent arrestor. Yeah, that's why I say I've seen people clean toilets with it. That's why I say Coke is not good for you. There was another lie too that they're trying to push with this abortion thing too. The poor girl in Georgia that passed away. because of they got have they abolished it there? Like I say, it's really hard to keep up with all of this stuff. But they're lying about this woman. She didn't, because they wouldn't give her an abortion. She died because of it. That's not what happened. She went somewhere else and got an unapproved pill. Now, that's another thing. That's another oxymoron to me. You take a pill that will kill something inside you. Don't you think that that's going to kill you too? Don't you think that that's capable of killing you too? Not to mention the fact that supposedly, if in the event you have an abortion or even a miscarriage, if there's still baby parts in you, they don't take them out. They can become infected and become septic. That's just medical. That happens no matter what. So this woman induced a miscarriage, if you will, didn't go to the hospital. And of course, just like, put it this way, if I had anybody to blame, they supposedly let her sit there for 12 hours or more while this infection ravaged through her body because they were afraid it was an abortion. No, I don't think it was that. I think it was the fact that they, the other thing that they're complaining about, why these hospitals are overrun, because all of the migrants that are here, they're the ones that are overloading the hospitals and things like that. The weird part about it is my husband told me about something with his father. His father had a problem, went to the doctor. The doctors told him to go to the hospital directly, and instead of driving an hour down to the hospital where this doctor worked, he went to the closest hospital, and they didn't know what to do with him. They let him sit for 12 hours. By the time he got a room, it was 12 hours or 13 or 14 hours in the waiting room. Morgan said he remembered all this and everything. And by the time they got him, started to treat him and everything, his infection had spread through his body too. He had blood work done, and they found out that his peak valve, he had a peak valve in his heart, was starting to deteriorate. And they could have saved him had he went down to the other hospital. But I mean, even going to the wrong hospital. You know, she didn't have any records or anything there. But again, I have the sneaking suspicion, because they said she waited for so long, or they waited for so long because they thought they were giving her an illegal abortion. No, they weren't. I think they made her wait so long because the hospital was overwhelmed. Just saying. They've been complaining about it. I can't imagine what else it would have been. Unless she was in the wrong place or she didn't have insurance. But if it was a life or death situation, they can't turn you down if you don't have insurance. So, like I say, I have a sneaking suspicion it had something to do with all of those people that are coming over our border. All right. So, anyway, back to Alex Jones. One thing about him, I still hear about him even after they've done all the censoring and all the lawfare and everything like that. So he seems like another person like Trump, that he doesn't give up. He doesn't just shut up because all of this stuff is happening. So kudos to him. I believe that Elon's going to help him out, and I know that he's still on X. They're never going to take him off of X unless they get rid of Elon Musk. So now, something else I found today, and as usual, they try to use kids for everything now. Oh, think about the children. Well, they're now, and this actually showed me what they're teaching these children in school. The parents have some say so, and because some of these people were actually interviewed in Texas. So that should tell you something. We asked 10-year-olds about the election. Here's what we learned. Now, the first kid's response, and I can't imagine why they posted this because this goes against their narrative. But the Kamala kind of gets blasted right away. Listen to this.
What's the first word that pops into your head when you hear the name Kamala Harris?
Liar.
What's the first word that pops into your head when you hear Donald Trump?
Pure evil.
Donald Trump, he's given his life and his heart.
She even shook hands with Mr. Trump to greet him before the debate, the start of the debate, which is pretty kind of when you're going against your opponent.
How much do you like Donald Trump using that scale?
Donald Trump probably hates me for doing this, so,
You really don't like Donald Trump?
I mean, come on, he went to, like, jail, I mean...
Donald Trump, he did bad things, and he didn't care about his country. He's like Hitler, who, like, convinced, like, everybody.
He only wanted to be president so that he can just control everybody.
Which one of these two candidates do you think is more likely to do bad things?
Oh, convicted felon against a liar. Oh, who do I pick? I'm gonna say Trump because he's a convicted felon.
Should he be president again still?
Yeah, like we can say, for example, JFK. He cheated on his wife, but, like, people still loved him. George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, both slave owners. So being a slave owner is really bad. It's a really bad thing. But they still had 2 terms. So I think even though Trump has done bad stuff, he still deserves to run for president.
The only kid in there that had any common sense. But you get an idea of what these kids are being shown and taught. Trump did bad stuff. They don't tell him anything. They don't explain anything else on it. But Trump did bad stuff. Bad. Orange man bad. Orange man bad. So, and probably if any of those kids ever needed any help, Trump would probably be the first one to try to be there to help. It's too bad. It's really too bad that they're trying to scare the shit out of the kids. These kids are 10 years old. 10 years old. Trump did bad stuff. All right. Another thing that came across my feed is the upcoming possible seaport strike. The October surprise.
What happens if our seaports go on strike? The strike is set for October 1st, so you better share this with everyone. Because if our ports close, everything we depend on closes with it. Let's talk about what would happen within the month of October. On day 1, international fuel shipments are the first to feel the impact. Crude oil tankers stuck offshore means no new fuel entering refineries. By the end of the day, concerns spread across industries as gas stations, trucking companies, and airlines brace for immediate shortages. Everything from fuel to imported goods is at risk, but fuel becomes the most critical loss. By day 3, gas stations are starting to run dry and rationing begins. Prices surge as demand skyrockets. Without fuel, trucks can't deliver goods, and the first shortages show up in grocery stores. Businesses relying on imported oil, like refineries, scramble to maintain operations with whatever reserves they have left. The ripple effect starts to hit home. No fuel means no transportation, and without transportation, the flow of goods stops. Day 7, the energy crisis takes hold. Within the first week, the impact of fuel shortage deepens. Trucks, trains, and ships that move essential supplies across the country slow to a halt. Agriculture and manufacturing are crippled, unable to operate without fuel for machinery and transportation. Airlines begin canceling flights, and public transportation services are cut. Gas prices hit all-time highs as panic buying intensifies.
For everybody except Washington and probably Hollywood, anybody that has money and has been backing Kamala. So basically, again, this is like not the very first time I heard about it. I think 451 Actual mentioned something about it last week, but I still had no idea why. East Coast port strike looms for first time since 1977. Now, of course, the Democrats didn't allow the train workers to strike for, what was it, for better health insurance or something like that. Excuse me, better pay. I forget what it was. Now, but they're going to let our main ports strike. They're going to let this happen, and I get the feeling it isn't. It isn't not on purpose. Thousands of dock workers at every major East Gulf Coast port are girding to strike starting early next week, threatening to close the trade gateways that handle about half of all goods shipped in containers in and out of the United States. Negotiations between the union representing the dock workers and a shipping industry group representing terminal operators and ocean carriers have been stalled for months, with both sides this week issuing conflicting statements about their willingness to bargain. Actually, I pulled this article up because what are they fighting over? I can't believe they've been fighting for so long. The United States Maritime Alliance has filed an unfair labor practice with the National Labor Relations Board, requesting immediate injunctive relief, requiring the union to resume bargaining so we can negotiate a deal, the alliance said. Oh, it sounds like the company is stalling, or was stalling, like they will do. They don't want to have to pay any more money. Not to mention the fact they know that eventually they will have to. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're scrambling to either make more money, downsize something that I can, it has to be covered somehow. Usually they just raise prices. The NLRB confirmed it had received the unfair labor practice charge, which is being docketed by its regional office in Newark, New Jersey. The charge will appear on the agency's website in the next few days, after which an investigation would begin. Experts say a shutdown could severely hamper the flow of goods. Yeah, probably more than likely will. And raise shipping costs. Any spike in such expenses could be passed on. No, it will be passed on consumers. Just as U.S. inflation normalizes and even potentially hinder the Federal Reserve as it finally pivots to lowering interest rates. What are the key issues in the labor dispute? The union representing 45,000 dock workers, the International Longshoremen's Association, is threatening to strike at 36 U.S. ports if a new labor deal with the USMX isn't reached before the current contract expires at midnight on September 30th. Okay, a walkout could be the first East Coast dock strike since 1977. A potential walkout likely involves 25,000 workers, according to USMX. Union workers at ports in the East Coast and Gulf Coast earn a base wage of $39 an hour after 6 years on the job. So what do they make, $7 before that? I'm sure not. That is significantly less than their unionized West Coast peers who make $45 an hour. Well, yeah, the cost of living is way more out there, and I bet you they're saying that that's not enough out there. A rate that will increase to $60.85 in 2027, excluding overtime and benefits. Assuming, okay, so basically they're vying for a $20 an hour raise. Assuming a 40-hour work week, West Coast port workers are making more than $116,000 a year versus $81,000 for their counterparts in the East. Again, it's way more expensive to live in California, in the West Coast, which they've made it that way, than it is on the East Coast. I could live off $80,000. I wish I could make $80,000 a year. I would literally have to work every day, all day long to do that. Anyway, the ILA's initial demands included a 77% wage hike over 6-year contracts. 77%! Come on, man! No wonder they were stalling. I mean, can't they come to some... I mean, I know that when you bargain, you go for the highest amount and then you negotiate down. But I bet they're not willing to negotiate this stuff. They want to know. And the cost of living and everything... I don't know who's going on. Usually it's not the workers. They actually listen to whoever's in charge of their union, that they pay dues. It's almost, in my opinion, it's like having an HOA. You pay these people that are in charge of the neighborhood to tell you how to live your life and how to keep your house and everything. That doesn't make sense to me. Mark my words, we'll shut them down in October if we don't get the kind of wages we deserve. Harold Daggett, the president of ILA, said that earlier. So, okay, so they're fighting over money, as usual. So I guess you could say that if you've been prepping all this time, if this comes to pass, it probably won't bother you as long as you don't have to go anywhere. So, and the rationale, let's see if I remember. I don't remember if they did the exact same thing to make it happen. But I do remember back in 1977, 78, I was young. But I still remember that only certain, you can only go get gas certain days of the week. And, like, I think they split it by the last digits on your license plate or something like that. Or it might have been the last 2 digits of your zip code or something, I don't remember. But the gas lines were really long, and for a while there was a lot of gas stations closing down. And again, I'm sure they're doing this because what do we got coming up in 30, 40 days? An election that they don't want Trump to win. They don't want Republicans to win. They want to keep their power. What better way to do that than to starve people out? Told you guys, by any means necessary. What does anybody think that they meant by that? Better have some vitamins and minerals. Stocked up on beans and rice, Recision says. I've got vitamins. Yeah, I have a bunch of stuff too, but they might be able to hold out longer than we can. Don't forget, they transferred how much money during the virus to themselves? Alright, say goodbye to YouTube. There was no one over there, and I should have turned them off a while ago. So, whoop whoop! Goodbye, YouTube.